going to create a bird so you can use it within a scene later on. One thing that you have to remember is that for this project, you are going to be converting anchor points. And what I mean by that is, right now I just drew a square. If I select the anchor point with the Convert Anchor Point tool and click and drag on that anchor point, it will give me handles. You can make these handles very short or very long. Now, to work with those handles, you have to use the Direct Selection tool. So use the white arrow, and that's going to allow you to use those handles to stretch and pull them to modify your design. So you click on the anchor and then you can grab a handle and twirl it around. Now if you hold Option down while you grab one of the handles, it will only work with that one handle that you're grabbing. So you can see here, if you click the anchor, hold Option, it will just grab one side of that anchor's handle. So again, convert the anchor, make sure it doesn't twist, and if you click the anchor and then if you grab the handles, they kind of work together, and there you have it. That's how you work with your converted anchors. You'll need to do that for every one of these in the bird. Okay, open the bird file, and you're going to notice that it's a very rough start of a bird. And I also need you to find your layers, and then I want you to turn off every layer except the body and the background. Now start with the body, and I want you to go to the Convert Anchor tool, and I want you to pull out handles for every point. So you can see I'm going around the bird, I'm not letting it twist, and I'm not worrying about the shape or aligning it right now. What I'm worrying about is just making the converted anchors. So I'm going around the bird. Every time I see an anchor point, I'm going to convert it so it's more curved. Now the tip of the tail you don't have to do. So convert every single anchor point except the tip of the tail, like so. For the next part, you will need the Direct Selection tool, the white arrow. Now you're going to use the path and you're going to try to align it to the bird underneath. So I have the Direct Selection tool, I have all my converted points. Now I want to deselect, and then so click off of the bird and then click on the anchors going around the bird. And you want to do one at a time, and you just want to move the anchors and align the edges of this black line to the bird underneath. You'll have to probably work with the handles. So here I'm pulling the handle way down so that I get the belly of the bird. Don't worry so much about it not lining up yet until you work with all of the anchors. So you're going to notice that all the anchors are related to each other. So just go around the bird and modify as you can, and it will keep changing. So you'll have to kind of modify as you go and try to align it as best as you can. Now it's time to colorize. So you want to make sure that the outline of your bird is selected, and then find the eyedropper tool. Once you have the eyedropper tool selected, you're going to click on the main body of the example bird. And what that's going to do is that's going to fill your bird with the blue color. Now go to the black arrow, the selection tool, and you're going to pull the body of the bird over to your artboard. Next, you're going to turn on the beak layer, and you're going to modify this with the Direct Selection tool. There's no need for any conversions. The middle anchor already is converted, and so you can just curve that a little bit, and you're good to go. Now you will need to colorize that beak. So with the beak selected, use the eyedropper tool and go to the example and sample the color of the beak. Now use the black arrow to move the beak over to your artboard. Next, you're going to work with the front wing. So you want to turn that layer on, and you want to use the Direct Selection tool and you're going to pull out the handles on all the way around the bird. Now, you can leave the tip at a point. You do not need to make the right hand top tip of the wing converted. Then you'll use the direct selection tool to modify this wing and try to make it look like that teardrop shape, like the example. Now you can colorize the wing just like you've been taught. The back wing will be the same deal. You can leave the tip of the wing unconverted and work with it and colorize it. Now for the back tail feathers, you just have to colorize it. So you just select it, no conversion needed, and colorize it with the dark purple color. For the detail on the front wing, you're going to need to go to the Pathfinder. You are going to go to the black arrow and select the wing, hold down Option and click and drag, and this will make a copy of the wing, and you want to just align it to the example. With the black arrow, you can modify this shape. You don't have to hold shift when you resize it, and basically what we want to do is try to align this wing to the little shape that we see. So we may have to stretch it out a little bit, and that's okay. You're going to notice I also took the fill color off. To remove the fill color, you go to the bottom of your toolbar and click the little default color indicator. This will make your wing turn white with a black outline. Now we want a transparent fill color. So with the fill on top, you are going to click the little none indicator, and that's the box with the red slash through it. And once that has a red slash through it, your wing is transparent on the inside, but it still shows a black outline. That will let you align it a little bit better. Once that wing looks like it's perfectly aligned, you can switch the colors back to your default colors, and that's just, you're going to have the wing selected, and then you're going to go to the bottom of your toolbar, and then you're just going to click the little default black and white, and it will turn the wing back to black and white. I want you to make a copy of that wing, so you're going to go to the black arrow, hold Option, and click and drag to make two wings. Black arrow, select the top double wing and tilt it so you get kind of like a Nike swoosh symbol, and you're going to go up to Window, Pathfinder. Now make sure both of these wings are selected, and then click on minus front, and you will get a little design for the side of the wing, and you can fill that with the darker blue color from the sample and then move it over. You may have to resize it a little bit so it fits in your wing nicely. For the white eye, you're going to use the circle tool, the ellipse tool, and you're just going to draw a circle, and make sure you take off the stroke. For the pupil, you're going to draw a circle, and you're going to align it, and then you're going to have to take out that little notch. Now, you could use the Pathfinder to do this. You could draw another shape on top of it and subtract it, or you could use the Add Anchor Point tool, use the white arrow and pull that anchor point back, and you will get a little notch. The only problem with doing it this way is sometimes your circle gets a little bit, distorted. So it might be a better idea just to make two shapes and use the Pathfinder, or you could do it this way, whatever you think works best for your skill set. Finish, take off the stroke and fill it with black. And then you can move that over as well. For the designs on the tail feather, you're going to have to look hard to see them, but you're just going to use the pen tool, and you're just going to make these long, skinny triangles. And you'll need 3 of them. And if you look really hard, there's a grayed out version of them underneath. And then, of course, you can select all 3 with the Move tool, and then select their color. Now we have all the pieces drawn. We just have to put the highlight design on the bird's belly. So for this, we'll use the blob brush. But first, start with the black arrow. With the black arrow, move the body of the bird down, and then you are going to select at the bottom of your toolbar, you're going to select the Draw Inside button, like this. And you're going to get brackets around your bird. Now your bird is still selected, so we have to use the black arrow and click off of the bird. And then bird has brackets around it, but it's not going to be selected, so it doesn't have an outline selected around it. So just click anywhere in the gray area. Now you're going to go to the blob brush, and you want to select a color that's different from the bird. So maybe something that's lighter. And then hit OK. Now if you paint along the belly, outside the lines, you will see that this will only draw inside of the bird's shape because we have that draw inside selected. And so this will give us a shape for inside the bird. Switch out of draw inside mode to normal mode, and you're ready to assemble the bird. So with the black arrow selected, you can put your bird together. Now you're going to colorize a second bird. So with the black arrow, click and drag a selection around your first bird, move it off to the artboard. And now I want you to hold Option, click and drag, and you will now have two birds. And here I just want you to colorize it. So I want you to go to the swatch panel and go to Open Swatch Library and pick a color scheme that you think you would like and make it look nice. And I would like you to create a color scheme for this new bird, something different than your blue and purple. Just make sure that all the colors that were originally different are also different so they stand out. Now you're going to move these birds to a new page. So please go to File, New, and pick a letter size document in landscape orientation. And you are going to select each bird, so drag a selection with the black arrow, and you can go to Edit Copy or Command C, and then you're going to paste it onto the untitled document. Paste by going Command V or Edit Paste. Now for some reason when I pasted mine, my eye kind of turned into a square. Not sure why that happened, but I just drew another eye to take care of that. I just deleted it and drew another eye and then just brought the pupil to the front. So get both birds on your document, and then you are going to save this as a PDF file and an Adobe Illustrator file. Submit the PDF file to Schoology.